FOJ 39. What's up, Jason?
What's up, Jeff? How are you?
I'm not too bad. Yourself?
I'm doing well. I am tired as all hell. It's been a busy weekend here in Chicago. It's been hot as, well, excuse me, I should say it's been humid as shit here.
Mm-hmm. I feel like everywhere is humid.
Yeah.
Hot and humid here too in North Carolina.
Yeah. And I've been, since with baseball being over, it is now time to catch up with all the yard work that I need to do because, I was occupied pretty much every weekend through the spring. So I kind of kept up with my front yard because that's what the public sees, but the backyard is basically only what I see, and it looks like absolute shit. So
business up front, party in the back when it came to your landscaping?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, exactly. I don't know if you'd have a party back there, but it's just nuts. So yeah, I spent the better part of yesterday and today out in the humidity, pulling weeds. Today I cut down a couple of trees.
Trees?
And actually, yes. Which was interesting because, I cut down a couple of trees on the side of my garage because I didn't want the raccoons to come back. I don't need them to have access to my roof. So I had to cut down, a couple of things that had grown to where, the trees that the 4 baby raccoons were staring at and laughing at me a couple of weeks ago. So so
when you say cut down trees, are you talking about like you trimmed the trees off the side of the house so it'd be hard to get in? Or you lumberjacked it and pulled down an entire tree?
They are gone.
Okay. How big are these trees?
They were a good 25 feet high.
Jeez, dude.
Yeah. So, I have this old chainsaw that was my grandfather's, and
an heirloom chainsaw.
Yeah, right. And I tried that, and the chain kept coming off of the thing. I mean, this thing's old. So
it wasn't really chain as so much just really worn leather or something like that.
Yeah. So I have a cordless reciprocating saw. Do you know what that is? Do you know what a reciprocating saw is?
No idea, man. Manual labor is for the peasants. Right.
Well, I'm a peasant, so I have a cordless one, and needless to say, I put the biggest blade that I have on it, and it rips through things pretty good. But since it's cordless, it's on batteries. I went through 2 batteries in like half an hour.
Yeah.
So I'm like, screw this. So I went to Menards and bought a new one that you can plug in, and man, that thing performed like a champ today. I put that thing through the ringer. So $50, well spent. I was cutting stuff left and right. I tore these things down. And here was my fear. So my fear was this thing's 25 feet high. And I'm like, okay, you got to cut it. So 1, it doesn't fall on the house. 2, it does not fall on my neighbor's house.
Right.
And 3, I didn't want it to fall forward so it would fall on my son's truck that he uses for his business.
Right. All noble goals.
Yes. So needless to say, I succeeded at all 3. Now, everything went untouched today, which is great.
All right.
But I'm talking up on a 6-foot step ladder, cutting from the top down and just cutting piece by piece. So yeah, Lumberjack is a great work. So I probably, I was cutting just piece by piece, and there were a couple things I probably cut. Oh man, there's got to be 100 branches back there just off of various stuff that I cut down today. So I've got this big pile in my backyard right now of branches. I mean, it was one of those things where you're out there for an hour, and then it was so damn hot. It's like I was sweating so much that I felt like I just got out of the shower. It was that bad. So, you come in for 10, 15 minutes. Then you go back out there for another hour. Then you come back in. I did that all day pretty much. And I'm tired. My body hurts. My muscles hurt. Whatever muscle there is in there. And you talk about my advanced age. I feel every bit of it today.
You gotta be careful, man. Yeah. You're a man of your advanced age should not be up in a tree, cutting things down like a young man should be doing. Or a wife with a strong back. You know, that would also subside, you know, serve as...
no offense to Michelle, but I don't have one of those. So it's either this or pay somebody to do it. And I'm like, no, I like to do shit myself. So I, got the stepladder out. I have what I feel like is every tool known to man. I added to that arsenal today. And I mean, so I'm going to spend all week probably after work cutting this crap up, fitting it into lawn bags and, getting it out of here. Cause I mean, I made a pile.
What do you do with the wood? You got a fireplace?
No, I don't have a fireplace. I do have a fire pit outside. Okay. So I'll probably burn a lot of it in that. But, what's nice is the stuff now that it's not attached to anything, it'll dry out. So as long as it doesn't rain, it'll dry out and it'll burn pretty quickly. So that'll be good.
That sounds awful. I have no desire to do any of that work. And fortunately, I have a wife that does, and she has a strong back. So I'm like, yep, you go have fun. And she'll go do whatever needs to be done in the lawn.
Yeah.
I offered like, hey, we can get somebody out here and take care of it. It's like, nope, I want to do it. I'm like, all right, do it.
Yeah. So I'm glad that's done. I have a little more to go towards the back of the house, but nothing like that damn tree. I mean, that's the diameter, or no, let's just say the diameter of this trunk was probably 8 to 10 inches.
That's a decent sized tree.
Yeah. So this thing, and you got to be careful because when you're cutting the thing down, you gotta think about which way you want it to fall.
Right. Yeah.
So you cut it at an angle, and as soon as it starts to go, you just kind of let it go, but it's not cut all the way through. So it just kind of cracks a little bit. And then it's like, okay, let's just leave it. And then once it falls, then you finish it, because if you cut all the way through, you have no idea where the hell the thing's going. So, yeah.
So now you started a logging company. How do people get in touch with you to take care of their tree services around Chicago area?
Well, I guess I could start up Gwig's Logs. I don't know.
Yeah, there you go. You can do, your son can do washing cars, and then you can hitch a ride on the same truck and, take care of trees and stuff like that.
Yeah. He did have a detail today, and he's got, what is it? He's got between tomorrow and Tuesday, he's doing 11 catering vans. So,
jeez.
Yeah, he's got a big couple days ahead of him. So
it's good. Make that money.
Absolutely.
Well, my weekend was relatively uneventful. I didn't do anything outside. It's too fucking hot. Took the dog for a ride in the car. We went out, for about an hour and a half or so, took a little walk around little, woods here and stuff like that. It was nice. It was pretty decent. So
nice.
Yeah. Sounds super uneventful. And then sleeping and eating and playing with the dog.
Sounds very relaxing. That's what a weekend should be.
Yeah, I got caught up on some TV. I finished The Studio on Apple TV, which I thought was pretty good. Generally not like too much of a Seth Rogen fan, but decent enough. And there were enough cameos in it where I thought it was pretty entertaining. Let's see what else. I gave Stick a try, which has Owen Wilson, and I just can't get through it.
Now, is that because of Owen Wilson? Is that because of Owen Wilson?
I see him and all I just say is, wow. It's just like, I just can't. I just can't take him seriously. Yeah. And I mean, it's fine. It kind of strikes me as like I don't know, maybe grown up Happy Gilmore or something like that. But my wife likes it, and I think she's finished with it or close to the end of it. And I gave it 2 or 3. No, I gave it 2 episodes. And I was just like, it just doesn't, it's not hitting it for me.
I did when I was, so my wife worked all day yesterday. And so I am notorious for when she's at work, I put shit off. I'm like, okay, I need to get stuff done. But during one of my get out of the heat breaks, I actually I came in, I turned on the television. Nobody was home. And all of a sudden what popped on my Hulu that was available to watch was the movie Old School.
Yeah. And then that was the next, hour and a half, 2 hours of commercials.
That was the next hour and a half. Well, luckily, the way it was set, the commercials lasted like 3 seconds. So it was kind of nice. Not bad. But I had not seen the movie Old School in a long, long time.
It's a classic of American cinema.
It's pretty good. That's one of Vince Vaughn's better. I mean, it's classic Vince Vaughn.
Yeah,
but that's one of his better ones. Will Ferrell. Do you like Will Ferrell?
I do like Will Ferrell. Yeah,
I do too. It's just sometimes it can be a little much, and he was okay in this movie. But I thought Vince Vaughn was really good in Old School, and I forgot how many different like cameos of actors are in that movie. I'm not going to name them off, but I'm like, oh my God, that person was in this, and that person was in this, and that, and it was pretty nuts. But it was a fun watch. So
it's a classic. Good. I can watch it anytime that it's on. It's
absolutely
it's quotable, and Will Ferrell does not play subtle. So
no,
any movie that he's in, he's going to have kind of a little bit more of a, let's just call it outgoing, role
for sure
kind of thing. But I mean, I remember that first movie that we first came out, it was just, I was just dying laughing the first time I saw it. And that was kind of like back when there were actually like comedies in the theaters.
Yes.
Like, I feel like there haven't been that many comedies that have been kind of like, that raunchy kind of, I would say like late 90s, early 2000s kind of comedy cycle that was out there. I don't know when Old School came out, but I feel like it was kind of like mid 2000s, something like that.
It was probably it's probably, I don't know if it's 20 years old, but it's probably pretty close.
2003.
Okay. So 22. Wow. 22 years old. Yep. Dang.
Yep.
But I enjoyed it. I forgot how good that movie is. I don't know if I call it good, but I mean how funny it is.
It's a great movie. If you enjoy it, it's good.
Yeah, it's just dumbass humor,
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that.
I'm a big fan of dumbass humor.
Tommy Boy.
Oh heck yeah!
Caddyshack, Happy Gilmore, The Water Boy.
Water Boy, Wedding Crashers, all that stuff. Oh,
all that stuff. Yeah, those are good movies. And I'd argue you're going to watch those more often than you will an Academy Award winner, with the exception of maybe a few like a Godfather or Casino or something like that. But Shawshank Redemption comes on, or any of these other movies come on, and you're going to watch it. Could be the 80th time you've seen it.
So I've seen the Shawshank Redemption in bits and pieces. I've seen the entire movie. I have never sat down and watched it start to finish.
Man,
never.
So good. Well, you've seen bits and pieces, so you know how it works out. So,
oh yeah, no, I've seen the entire movie, just not all at once.
Yeah.
So, no, it is very, very good movie. But Old School was cool. I really enjoyed it. And then I went back outside and sweated my ass off some more. So,
well, good for you. It's not the choice I would have made, but hey, takes different strokes.
It's stuff that's got to get done.
I know.
It's just.
Just because it has to get done doesn't mean I have to be the one to do it. That's all that matters.
I know. Well, usually I am the one that needs to do it. So you can add lumberjacking to my repertoire. So lately it's been lumberjacking, roofer, plumber, electrician, mechanic. Yeah, whatever. Whatever YouTube comes up with. Although I didn't have to use YouTube for any of this. So
that's pretty good then. There you go.
Yeah.
See, I'm more of a computer person. I'll sit in there and figure out stuff or technology. I actually sat here and thought about, okay, well, usually when we record this podcast, I'm sitting at like my desk, which is a nice setup. I spent a lot of time there. I was like, all right, I'm going to start to figure out how to do this from my couch. And so I set up, a microphone that I had. I've got a camera. I've got, an arm that swings into place, and set up another dock where I could just bring my MacBook over and plug in. And nice. Here I am now, super casual, relaxed on the couch for this audio podcast that we do.
Nice.
But you never know. I can tell you, I like this microphone I'm using. It's called a Lewitt Ray. I've had it for a while, and I've used it for a few different things. And for, people who are interested, this is a condenser microphone. And the cool thing about this is it uses lasers, which is very cool. And it's like, Jay, how do we use why would you use lasers in your microphone, Jay? Because it measures the distance. It measures the distance that I am from the microphone. It automatically adjusts the gain and, things like that to make sure that I sound consistent no matter how close or how far I get. So like for your microphone, you have a dynamic microphone, and the closer you get, the more it sounds like you're kind of like right up on it. But if you move away
Sure.
or off axis, I can tell, you know, you're not talking at the microphone, and if you're not consistent distance.
Right.
This one has lasers. It will automatically mute if I pull it away from my mouth too far. So kind of like a mute button is kind of built into it, sort of that way. And it looks cool as shit too. So, you know, it looks like one of those ye old you know, broadcast microphones are kind of the square. I'll bring it into frame here a little bit so you can kind of see it a little bit here.
Oh yeah. But okay.
It's cool. And it's got a little thing on the front, tells me how far away from it, and then it tells me what the cutoff. And you can adjust this, like how far do you want it to be when you cut off. And yeah, so I was like, I've got this thing laying around and I've got it on mic arm. Let me figure out how to get it connected up here and put it into my you know, casual studio here on my couch in my office.
Well, the one thing you need for an audio podcast is a microphone that looks cool. So
yeah,
I feel
it's got to look cool. Who cares what it sounds like on an audio podcast? I can fix that later.
That's right.
I can make AirPods sound really good. So, you know, but
nice.
You know, good audio going in is also helpful.
Nice. So the one upgrade I made to my little makeshift office situation down here is I bought this little mini, it's called Arctic Air. It's like a mini air conditioner.
Yep.
$40, Ace Hardware. I got it rolling right now. Oh my God, is this thing awesome?
Yeah. Because I've got a fan running across the hall or across the office here for me too.
Yeah.
It's hot in here.
It feels fantastic. Sits right on my desk, and you pour a little water into it and it just fires out cool air. And I'm like, oh yeah.
Ooh, wait a second. You're pouring water into it? Tell me more, because I am always a fan of the air conditioning arts.
So yeah, you plug this thing in and it tells you to plug, you get best results when you plug, you know, pour cold water and then a couple of ice cubes, and it just takes it from the top and pulls it ever so, you know, slowly, and it takes the air out of the back and just shoots it into the, you know, the water helps cool it down and shoots it out the front, and it just feels awesome.
Is there mist?
I think there is a little bit of mist because I can see condensation just on the grates of the front fan. Like, it's sitting on my desk and there's no water on the desk itself because I was looking for that.
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't want that on your electronics.
No, but you could see it, like you could, but just barely, right? But if I put my hand up to it, it is just cold air.
And how long does it last with like the reservoir of water?
I was down here last night for about 3 hours, and then I was down here when I watched Old School in the afternoon, so say 5, and then I used it this morning while I was doing some work for about 2 hours, so probably 7. And I didn't think I had it full, so probably about 7 hours. So I'm guessing I could probably run it to 8 hours.
And how big is the water reservoir?
It's probably about an 1.5 inches deep, and probably, I don't know, maybe 4 by 6 inches.
So it's not like a gallon or anything like that. Then it sounds like more. No, like a can of Coke, like a can of water, maybe.
I filled it with this cup right here.
Okay, so that probably looks like maybe like a 16-ounce cup of some sort.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
not bad.
Yeah, but it feels great.
I'm gonna have to look up into this. I mean, if there's one thing that will cause me to go into full-blown baby mode, it's heat and humidity. So, you know, fans and air conditioning is sort of the course du jour around here for me.
I came in every time I came in today. My t-shirt was soaked. My everything was soaked. I was dripping down my sunglasses and the hat that I was wearing, because I had to wear a hat because my face just sunburns easily. So my hat was soaked all the way through from sweat, and it was awful out there today. But I got a lot done, which is good. So
well, that's good. And some people like that. You know, just because I poo-poo on it, that's just my own personal. You know, I just don't want to be outside in the heat and humidity. I would much rather be out shoveling snow than out in the heat.
I go back and forth on that because I know, you know, come late January, early February, I'll be screaming for this weather. I'll be like, where the hell is my 90-degree heat? But yeah, today I could have been like, okay, it'd be nice to be able to do this when it's like 40 degrees or 30 degrees. You know, it'd have been fine. So but again, it's stuff that's got to get done. So me trying to be the responsible homeowner that I try to be. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, that's good. Yeah. Like I said, I have, my wife likes to do it. She's got a strong back,
That's good.
So, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, you need a chainsaw? No problem. You need a pole saw? Sure. Go get it. Do what you got to do.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's good. So,
yeah. I feel like I haven't really kept up with what's been going on in the world, other than obviously the whole Epstein thing has been a big problem. But what's going on in the sports world? I know the Cubs played the Sox, I think, right?
You had Cubs Sox this weekend at the rate on the South Side. And honestly, I watched a fair amount of it. I didn't watch all of any of the 3 games, but I watched bits and pieces of some of the games. I mean, the Sox won the first game pretty easily, which was kind of a surprise. But the Cubs won on Saturday pretty easily. And then today was a 5-4 win by the Cubs.
So Cubs won the series.
Cubs won the series. They are now 12-2 against the Sox over the last 3 years, which makes sense, right? I mean, the Sox are struggling. The Sox are not a long way away from being good. Cubs are contending pretty much every year at this point. And, the Sox are a team the Cubs should beat. But it was nice to see the Sox actually compete, and they competed hard. I mean, they beat the crap out of them on Friday night. I mean, there was like 4 home runs. I don't think the Cubs scored till like the 8th inning or something like that. So before the game was well in hand, the Cubs actually finished the game on the mound with one of their utility players. So it wasn't even a real pitcher. So, when in the games, that's basically throwing in the towel. Mm-hmm. So, and then the Cubs came back yesterday. A guy pitched, Cade Horton, pitched really well, rookie for them, who they're counting on big time down the stretch. And then today, like I said, 5-4, the Cubs jumped out to a lead. The Sox made it interesting in like the 8th inning with a 3-run homer, and then the Cub bullpen finished it out. So it was good week for Chicago baseball. I mean, the rate was packed from what I saw. Everybody gets into Cub Sox, which is good.
I was going to ask if the Crosstown Classic is still as popular as it used to be.
Yeah, I think it's a thing. I know games were sold out Friday and Saturday. You could see there were a couple empty seats today. It was an afternoon game on a Sunday, but still, I mean, it's always good to see the city come together. Last year we went to a Cubs Sox game at Wrigley. Michelle stumbled upon some tickets through her work, like at the last minute, and we went, and really cool atmosphere, seeing, Sox fans and Cub fans, together and things like that. I wore my Sox jersey, actually the Sox jersey that I'm wearing right now. And I took some heat, you wear a Sox jersey into Wrigley. It's an experience, but it's cool. But it's funny, the game we went to, Mike Talkman, who played for the Cubs at the time, hits a walk-off home run to win the game. He is now playing right field for the White Sox. And he hit a home run Friday night off of Chris Flexen, who's pitcher for the Cubs, who used to pitch for the Sox. So for the first time in the history of this rivalry of interleague play where the Cubs play the Sox, an ex-pitcher, or a pitcher who pitched for both teams, gave up a home run to a hitter who played for both teams at one point. So a little trivia for you. Okay. I know, big deal. Big freaking deal. But it's just something interesting, and for baseball fans, it's whatever. So,
and how Bears looking?
So the Bears are 5 days into training camp. I think they had, I don't know if they had today. I think they had today off, actually. From what I understand, they've kind of got, at least the offense has gotten a little bit better every single day. I guess day one was a mess, as expected. New offense, basically new everything. I guess Caleb Williams' first pass was an interception. So, of course, everybody in Chicago's freaking out.
That's it. That's our season.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Caleb sucks.
Why can't we catch a break?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we should have drafted Daniels, all that shit. So, but I guess it's gotten progressively better. I from what I read yesterday was their best day as an offense. They executed a perfect 2-minute drill against the Bears defense. Wound up with a touchdown to a Dunze. What's interesting is, so basically they have 3 left tackles, right? They've got Braxton Jones, Ozzie Trapillo, who they drafted, and Kieran Amagaje, who struggled mightily last year, but didn't have a training camp. Never had a training camp last year. So they've had each guy run with the first string each day. Right. Mm-hmm. So the thought process is, and what's good is Braxton Jones is fully healthy. So that's a good thing. So it's gonna be interesting that they're predicting that him and Ozzie Trapillo are like going to be neck and neck for the starting job. So we'll see how that materializes over the next couple of weeks. But I guess Ozzie Trapillo is a massive human being from what all the people are saying. They're like, holy crap, this guy is huge. But for a big guy, he can actually move. In order to play tackle, you got to move, Mm-hmm. So that's a good thing. The other good thing that has come out of camp so far is Colston Loveland is healthy. And he did a couple of ramp up days, and now he's taking reps with the first team offense and making plays and things like that. And seems to be fitting in very nicely. So that's a good thing. Bad thing, still have not seen LB3, Luther Burden. I said he had an ab injury last week. I was wrong. He has a hamstring problem.
Mm-hmm. You don't want to rush that.
No, hamstrings take a while. That's something where if you don't take as much time as possible, you could re-aggravate it like that. So I know there's concern that he's not back yet, but I think it's smart of the Bears to say, hey, let's not put him on the field until he's absolutely ready. I guess he's in all the meetings. He's in, doing rehab. He's, being tested by Randall L., their wide receivers coach, on everything. He's on the sidelines watching practice, all that stuff. So apparently he's doing the right things. They just aren't able to put him out there yet. So,
well, time to get book smart and then work on catching up on actually translating it. Cause usually it's the speed of the game that gets people when they first come to college. Like everyone says that. It's a lot faster than I'm used to. So, hopefully he's got his playbook. He's memorizing it.
Yeah. And NFL speed compared to college game speed is like night and day from what I understand.
Yeah.
And then the good news on defense is, obviously they're down Jalen Johnson. Obviously that's going to be a while, but apparently they're blitzing more, which I think is a good thing because I didn't think they blitz very often last couple of years. I guess Dennis Allen likes the blitz, which I think is good.
I think there's a difference between blitzing, but being an effective blitzing team. So
yes,
I don't think that what they did last year was effective. They might have been blitzing, but you couldn't tell because they couldn't get to the quarterback. It didn't matter how many people they're putting out there. So if they have figured that out, I will be extremely happy because all that does is help everyone behind them. You don't have to cover for 6, 7, 8 seconds. If you can get to the quarterback in 3 or 4 seconds, now you've got a chance.
Yeah, I agree. And they're going to need every bit of any advantage they could get because their schedule is brutal.
Yeah.
Like they've got
for a team that wasn't very good. I mean, I guess it's because the NFC North is so good right now, right?
Well, the North is good. So they're going to have, 6 tough games with the Packers, Lions, and Vikings. But I mean, I'm sure you could pull it up. Not off the top of my head, I don't remember what their non-conference schedule or their non-divisional schedule looks like, but it's like the 3rd toughest schedule in the NFL.
Yeah, non-conference. Let's see. Raiders, week 4.
Okay.
Ravens, week 8.
That's a tough one.
Bengals week 9.
That's a tough one.
Steelers week 12.
Could be a tough one. So you're
Browns
talking
on a 15.
So Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Aaron Rodgers, Browns. Who knows?
Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, you got Vikings, Lions, Cowboys, Raiders. Then you got a bye. Then week 6, you got the Commanders, or whatever they're going to be called at that point. New Orleans Saints. Right. The Ravens, the Bengals, the Giants, Vikings, Steelers, Eagles, Packers, Browns, Packers again, and then they finish the season at the 49ers. Oh, wait, no, sorry. They go to the Lions week 18.
So they got to play Goff twice. They got to play Jordan Love twice, which, could go either way. They got to play the Vikings twice, and it's probably going to be McCarthy, so we'll see what happens there. But Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Dak Prescott, Jalen Hurts, Aaron Rodgers. You're probably going to get trying to think. I don't know who they'll get in Cleveland. With the Giants, they might get what's his name? Jackson Dart, the rookie. Yeah. They got to play Jared Goff twice for Detroit. So
and then Brock Purdy.
And Brock Purdy for Frisco. And I think, I don't know if I said it, but Jalen Daniels. So they're going to have their hands full, man.
Yeah. That's a tough schedule.
Yeah, I think so.
So did we go through their schedule and say what you think their loss is going to be? Or do we want to wait till we get through preseason a little bit?
I think we should probably wait. I think we did it a couple of weeks ago. And if I recall, I think we came up with 9-8, but I think we gotta see more training camp happen before we can really, analyze and talk through game to game.
Okay. Well, note to self is let's remember to do that.
Yeah.
Once we get through the preseason, let's make our regular season predictions after the preseason's over.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So another thing that happened in the sports world that just, I think, either happened yesterday or today is the Bulls extended Billy Donovan.
I did see that, and I guess I haven't followed the Bulls enough to say is that good or bad, because they're perpetually middling, on the bubble, not even really good to make the playoffs, but kind of just whatever.
Well, yeah, but is that his fault? Really?
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean,
because
is he a good coach?
I think a lot of that. I think he is. I mean, the Knicks wanted to interview him, and he said no. The Bulls said no. So he won 2 national titles in college as coach for Florida.
Right. Cool. But that's not the NBA.
I know. No, I get that. And I know he was coach for Oklahoma City for a while when they had Durant and Harden and Westbrook, and they didn't win. They win the title. I mean, they were in the playoffs and everything, but they didn't win the title. But you look at the roster the guy's playing with, and it's like, what can you expect? Right. I mean, you could have Phil Jackson coaching this roster, and I don't think they'd be a hell of a lot better.
No, but you have a lot more triangle and a lot more whistling.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah,
I'm not impressed, and I don't care, and I'm apathetic towards it because it doesn't move the needle for me. So who cares?
Well, you become immune to it, right? Because the Bulls are bad. They're going to win anywhere from 30 to 35 games. They might contend for the play-in. And even if they don't make the play-in, they're going to be at the low end of the lottery because, their chances will be, squat. And it's like, they'll wind up with, pick number somewhere between 8 and 12. And it's just another blah. NBA, it's really hard, I think, to find a diamond in the rough in the NBA draft. In the NFL, I think it's a little different, and I think it's a little different in baseball, but NBA, you get outside of the top 6, and it's like, what? Okay, it's a role player, it's a bench guy, it's just a guy. Unless you're the Bulls picking at 4 and you pick up Patrick Williams, and that's what they do. But
it's a numbers game. Every NBA team only has 15 roughly 15 to 20 on the team, depending on how you want to count like practice rosters and stuff like that. So, it's not like there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of players like other leagues that have much larger teams like the NFL. So you really are taking the best of the best, and not all of them make it. Some flame out. So
you're right.
It's so much harder. Yeah. So unless you're picking, I'd say top 10, you're probably looking at role players or projects that there just isn't either enough game tape or they haven't fully developed, their game yet or whatever it may be. But with people getting, they're going to Europe and they're playing at 16 in professional leagues, right? Or China or whatever it may be. There's so much tape out there, and it's such a global sport that it's really hard to break in if you're not like already in that league by you're like 12, right? You're middle school and you're already getting scouted.
Oh yeah. No, for sure. I mean, what is the number one pick this year was Cooper Flagg. Mm-hmm. He was a year ahead in school. So technically he should have been a senior in high school this year. Instead was the number one player at Duke. And I think his second summer league game, he scored like 32 points. So Dallas pulled him from the summer league because obviously they don't want him to get hurt. And it's like, 32 points. We've seen enough. I guess he wanted to play more, but Dallas said no. And, obviously he's probably going to be in their starting lineup this year. I don't know how many draft picks are going to be in their team's starting lineup this year. Outside of Flagg, I did not know one name in the draft. So
I've gotten too casual with it. Other than the Bears and the NFL, I really haven't been following sports. It's just I'm not finding it interesting. There's no storylines that interest me.
Well, yeah, I mean, coming from Chicago sports are so bad as a whole right now. It's like the Bulls are in basketball hell. The Hawks are in total rebuild mode, which are they going to be fun to watch because they got a lot of young guys? Maybe. But after a while, they're fun to watch, but they still lose a lot. And it's like, okay, now you got Bedard in his third year, and it's like, okay, when are they going to, get the guy some real proven help? I mean, you can only play with young draft picks for so long. And then, the White Sox again are in full rebuild mode. Is it looking better than last year? Absolutely it is. But there's still roughly 30 games under 500, which tells you how far down they went. I mean, the worst record in the history of the game last year. So, that's how far down the toilet they went. The Cubs, they contend, but do they have a World Series ready team right now? I don't think so. They're going to have an interesting week. I mean, the trade deadline is Thursday, and I think they still need to make probably 2 or 3 moves in order to be a serious contender, because I don't think they have the pitching. That's just my opinion, but I don't think they have the pitching. And then, I mean, we just went through the Bears. They're kind of in rebuild mode too, with Caleb and a new coach and new offense and all that. So everybody's rebuilding, except the Cubs.
So it seems like several of these teams are perpetually in rebuilding mode.
Yeah.
And fans still keep going and supporting teams that are not good. So we've talked about this before. What's the incentive to actually put the money into the clubs to make them competitors?
The biggest way, and we've talked about this, we've talked about the fact the biggest way to express your displeasure is with your wallet. Mm-hmm. Stop going to the games.
Yeah. Don't subscribe to whatever, was it Marquee Sports Network? Is that still a thing?
Oh yeah. There's Marquee Sports Network to watch the Cubs, and they cover some Bear stuff on there too. And then there's CHSN, Chicago Sports Network, which covers the Sox, the Bulls, and the Blackhawks. And these are both paid apps. Now, I know Marquee has a deal, I think, with Comcast and with DirecTV. I think CHSN has a deal. They just did a deal with Comcast and DirecTV. But so many people are off of Comcast and DirecTV. They've gotten away from the satellite. They've gotten away from, landline cable, that you're paying for Marquee. It's $20 a month. And for CHSN, you can follow one of the teams for, what is it? I think it's $20 a month, or you can follow all 3 teams for $30 a month.
It's such a ripoff.
It really is. It really, really is. But you want to watch the teams, that's how you do it. I mean, we talked about this. You could pirate it off the internet, but like I said, the quality's not good. Mm-hmm. The play-by-play is sometimes you get the out of town feed, which means you're listening to the visiting or the other team's announcers, and people don't like to do that. Although you'll laugh watching the I'm a Sox fan, but I watch every bit of Cubs Sox that I watched on Marquee because I cannot stand the White Sox TV crew. I can't stand them. They're terrible.
That's how I feel about
I should say that. Yeah, the play-by-play guy's terrible. Steve Stone is still Steve Stone. He's been good for years, but John Schriffen, I crapped on their old guy, Jason Benetti, and I was in the minority on that. A lot of people like Benetti. I think he's a clown. He left for Detroit, took a deal with the Tigers. Schriffen is so just, it's like, I don't even know what to compare it to. It's like watching an 8-year-old kid broadcast a game or listening to an 8-year-old kid, because he just yells and, does these dumbass taglines that he has. And, when the Sox win, it's Southside stand up. And it's like, bro, what are you talking about?
I guess the good news is they don't win very often, so you don't have to hear that very often.
No, I know. I know. I miss Hawk. I was a huge Hawk Harrelson guy. I know a lot of people got tired of his shtick because he got old and he was such a homer, but I was a big Hawk guy.
Harry Carey, that's all I'll say.
Oh yeah, I liked Harry Carey. He broadcasted for both the Cubs and the Sox. He started with the Sox in like the 70s and then did Cubs games for years.
I didn't know he was with the Sox.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
He did games for the Sox. He did games for the Cardinals, and then he I don't know, not necessarily in that order, but then obviously he did Cub games for years on WGN.
Okay. That's news to me. I learned something.
There you go.
I didn't want to learn it, but I learned it anyway.
Well, it's interesting because his son did, Harry Carey's son, Skip Carey, did Braves games for a long time. And then his grandson, Chip Carey, I think has done Cubs, maybe some Braves, and I think he does Cardinals games now. So the Carey family, a lot of broadcasting in that family.
And Will Ferrell.
Yes. Oh my God. That is one of the funniest Will Ferrell skits ever.
Mm-hmm. What else?
The interview with Jeff Goldblum on the science.
Oh,
yeah. Talking about the moon.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
He's so good. Like he's such a classic character.
He is. He is. Have you ever seen the YouTube of his acceptance speech of the Mark Twain Award?
Will Ferrell?
Yeah.
No, I have not.
Check that out. It's pretty good.
I did watch the Conan O'Brien one, which I thought was good. Kevin Hart was good.
Yes. Adam Sandler was decent.
Adam Sandler's was good too, yeah.
But yeah, check out Will Ferrell on that.
They've started to put these on Netflix. It's kind of interesting. So you have to go between YouTube and Netflix to find some of them. But
okay.
I hadn't really gotten into them until really, I think it was past year when I started to see that they were out there, and I didn't really kind of follow what they were. But they're generally pretty hilarious, especially if they're doing a comedian, something like that. And then just roast in general, like Don Rickles.
Yeah. Oh God.
Going back and like watching old Friars Club roasts and stuff like that. The guy was just so good.
The roast of Drew Carey was so funny.
Oh, that was fantastic.
Years ago.
Yeah. I did watch that last weekend. Yeah.
There've been such good ones. I mean, the roast of Justin Bieber is really good. When they roasted Emmett Smith, was it Jeff Ross just killed Shaq on that one. Bob Saget. Charlie Sheen.
Bob Saget was a good one. Yeah. There's Gilbert Gottfried's Bob Saget set is one of the ones I think that's super legendary.
Oh yeah.
There was one with, I don't know who was it. Oh, I think it was James Franco with
oh yes.
With what's the guy? Andy Samberg.
Yes, when he roasted himself.
Yeah,
he roasted the roasting. Yes.
yeah. That was so clever because I don't think I'd ever seen that angle of a roast before. Usually, you know, when you get into roasts, they're going to be brutal, you know, towards whoever. But Andy Samberg's take on it was just so good.
Yeah, he was good on that one. Sarah Silverman was good. Mm-hmm. Nick Kroll was pretty funny on that one. Yeah, James Franco, that was a good one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I flipped on the other night on Paramount. There is a like best of roasts thing that's like 45 minutes to an hour. That is all the Comedy Central roasts, and they've kind of like pulled together all the like the hits, you know, from that.
Sure. Yeah.
The Tom Brady one was fantastic. That wasn't a Comedy Central one, but there were some really good, really strong performances now. Nikki Glaser made a name. I mean, she's been around for a while, but she really made a name for herself with that roast.
Yeah, she was really good on that one. Who was Gronk? Rob Gronkowski was good. Julian Edelman was really good.
Edelman was good.
Yeah, Gronk being Gronk. Edelman. Mm-hmm. Peyton Manning was solid on that one. So, and actually the coach, Belichick was pretty good.
Yeah. And, you know, kudos to Brady for
being a good
letting that happen. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Those are always fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a question for you. Are you, and this is just off of what I've noticed over the past, I don't know, couple of years. Are you a tattoo guy?
Am I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got tattoos up and down. I mean, I got full sleeves, across my back, got the teardrops, you know. No, I'm not, but I don't care. I live in Asheville. If you don't have a tattoo, you're the weird one here.
Well, that's what I'm starting to feel like, because I don't have one either, and I don't have any intention of getting one. It's just not my thing. Mm-hmm. But I feel like I'm becoming like the minority. Like there. I remember back when we were younger, you know, somebody had a tattoo. You thought, okay, they're in a gang, they're on drugs, they worship the devil, all that stuff. You know, I just remember where tattoos were like taboo. Mm-hmm. And now they are freaking everywhere. Like we had a guy just take a promotion to a director position in our office. Full sleeves on both arms and not covered up either. He just shows up in the office and boom. And then I noticed the president of our office one day, one of his arms full sleeve. I was like, holy crap, you know? And I'm just noticing that it's more and more of a thing. And I'm like, what am I missing? I don't understand the appeal. I really don't, but they're freaking everywhere, man.
I think it's just, you know, society progresses over time, whether some trends are, you know, your forte or not, same thing. Like I would never get one. I don't think I would ever get one. So as of right now, I don't think I would ever get one, but I don't care. My wife has a couple, you know, they're fine. Like it's for me, it's not a big deal. Now, you know, there's some where I kind of question a little bit. I was like, all right, your face, that's a little bit different, you know, stuff like that. There's a server that works downtown Asheville here that we've seen a couple times that has she has half of her head shaved and has like a skull tattoo. Basically it goes like on the side of her head and kind of down her neck. And then she's got the other half of her head has like long hair, and it's very different, right? Super cool, super nice, really good at what she does. But if you look at it from like a traditionalist point of view or conservative point of view, it's like, what the fuck? So there's stuff like that. It's like, okay, I definitely, again, definitely was probably a strong word, but there is, probably a less than 1% chance as I'm feeling I would ever do that. But no, I mean, look, I don't care. Are they cool people? Do they know what they're doing? Then who gives a shit? It's your own body, your own choice. Do whatever you want. If that limits you somehow, oh well, right? That's a choice that you made going into it. But I couldn't care less.
I was just curious what your take was, because you're starting to see them more and more and more, and they're everywhere.
We're getting old. The youngsters are starting to take over, and every generation goes through this. It's like, okay, there's, what we grew up on, and then it's the next generation and the next generation after that. And now we are, 3, 4, 5 generations into this thing where we're now on the back nine. And, society moves on.
The back nine. That's not the first time I've heard the second half of your life referred to as the back nine.
I'm sure it was subconscious and I heard it somewhere, but
I've heard that. I've heard that a few times, and it's pretty appropriate. So yeah, it's true. It's like, hey, when did I make the turn?
Yeah. I mean, when I was, a young professional in Chicago, it was shirts and ties every day. That is no longer a thing.
Yes, that's a great point. When I first started at Cisco, we were shirt and tie every day. We didn't even have casual Friday. None of that. Mm-hmm. You were going to see customers, it was shirt and tie.
Yeah.
And then it was business casual. It was, okay, you can wear a button-down shirt, you wear, a pair of khakis or whatever. You can even wear a polo. Mm-hmm. Now you could wear jeans. Can't wear shorts, but you wear jeans, you wear tennis shoes. They still want you in a polo or some kind of collared shirt. Some people wear like a quarter zip or something like that. Basically, they want you to dress for the customer you're going to see. So if you're going into a sports bar, dress totally casual, I think it makes sense. I think people are more comfortable. I think when you're more comfortable, you're more productive, and you just feel more at ease. And that's one thing I do like. There are places that are still shirt and tie appropriate, but I'm sorry. That's just, I hate
it's old. It's legacy. I'm the same way. Like I deal a lot with clients. And so the rule that we've got is theoretically you dress to the client level plus one. So if the client is, and the top would be, would be a suit, basically a suit and tie. That would be the top end. The bottom end would probably be, jeans and a polo or something like that. You definitely wouldn't go in like a hoodie and a t-shirt as much as I would love to, but I get away with a polo all the time. Like I will wear jeans and a polo or, jeans and some, decent slacks or something like that. Sure. I'll put a sport coat on for conferences, stuff like that. But I have noticed, and I'm a big fan of this, is like, I can't remember the last time I wore a tie because customers aren't doing it. And there really isn't a need for it. It's uncomfortable. It's hot. It's gross. I don't even want to wear long sleeves if I don't have to.
Right. Yeah. I don't even own a suit. I haven't owned a suit in years. I don't at the time right now, I don't even own a sport coat that fits because I haven't had the need to wear one in a long, long time. But yeah, I still have a couple ties and everything like that, but yeah, I haven't had to wear one in a long time. I haven't interviewed for a job, at least in person, in years, I would definitely wear it on a job interview, but
I bought 3 suits last year, Indochino, which highly suggested if you ever go. They're, reasonably priced. And it was like $500 a suit. And I think there was some sort of like combo deal. So I need to do ones because I was like, all right, I haven't really, done it in a while. So I got 3 suits. And then I lost a bunch of weight and none of them fit anymore. So I guess that's a good thing. But I'm constantly, the staple is a blue sport coat. It goes with pretty much everything.
Sure.
So you get a blue sport coat, and you get some matching pants if you need it, and then you can dress it however you want. I mean, I wear it most of the time. I'll wear it with jeans.
Well, what is it they say? You should own 5 suits. It's like you should own a black, a blue, a brown, a tan, and I forget the other color. But if you own those 5 suits, you have like over 200 or 300 combinations. You can wear that all match.
Tan suit? What are you, Obama? You're crazy, yeah, right? Man. Yes. So yeah, I mean, and the idea there is you mix and match, right? Tops and bottoms. Yeah, so the idea is you have different color shirts and etc. But I'll tell you, you can get away with a blue blazer or a blue sport coat and jeans and any number of shirts, and nobody gives a shit.
Sure. Nice.
Get the matching blue pants for it, and then you can do whatever you want. T-shirts. I mean, most of the time I'm wearing t-shirt, jeans, and a sport coat if I'm like at a conference.
Gotcha.
You know, the Silicon Valley suit or whatever they want to call it, but it's way more comfortable than wearing like, button down.
Well, what's the trend now? It's like a sport coat over a hoodie or something with a hood on it.
I don't see that very often, but yeah, there's that. It's a hoodie with a sport coat. And a lot of them actually, you can get now like a sport coat with a hoodie built into it.
Like they sell it that way.
And it's an interesting look. I think if you're into that, like, I could see how that, kind of make it work. Just not my style. I would do just the hoodie myself, but I'm generally more of a casual kind of guy. But yeah, if I'm dressing up, like I was at this conference last week or 2 weeks ago, and I actually wore a suit for the first time. No tie, but an actual like blue suit and, a button down shirt. And it's been a long time since I wore that whole thing. But this was also, executives are going to be there and stuff like that. And even then I was still probably better. I was more dressed up than probably 95% of the people that were there.
I like the no tie look. I like the sport coat, long sleeve shirt, but no tie. I think that looks good. I mean, it looks comfortable. It looks trendy, but it still looks good. Right.
Mm-hmm. It's super versatile.
Yeah. I did jeans for a long time. Recently, I went back to khakis because in the summer, because it's so damn hot.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm.
I don't want to wear denim, So I have a pair of tan khakis and I just, throw on a polo. I don't tuck it in. That seems to be the look these days. And then I have a pair of black and white gym shoes that seem to go with everything. And, or just a comfortable, the shoes, I try to match the shoes with the shirt, right? Mm-hmm. And that seems to work. And,
yeah, I think
I do enjoy being comfortable.
Yeah, me too. And I usually prioritize that over anything. So I'll look for any reason not to put a button down on. Yeah. But, polos generally, especially if you have a company polo, you can get away with a lot with a company polo. Like that's just kind of
for sure.
Uniform almost, right?
I have a couple of those.
Get some nice breathable pants for the summer or fall, whatever. So Twillery makes some good stuff. I just got a pair of pants from Johnston and Murphy. Makes really good stuff. So, super soft, breathable, kind of stretch and flex a little bit so they're not so stiff.
Yeah. Yeah.
The most important thing you do is to wear clothes that fit. Doesn't matter what your size is. Get your shit tailored. Get your cuffs tailored for your pants. Take it to, whoever is your local tailor, dry cleaner usually has them, and spend the money to tailor your clothes. You'll look so much better and you'll be more comfortable.
I like that.
That's my tip for everybody out there. I wish I could wear off the rack. I never can. I'm too short to wear anything off the rack. So I'm always having to at least do the pants. But yeah, you get stuff that fits and you're going to feel more confident too. You're not like, wearing these baggy clothes or you're wearing clothes that are too tight, right? Or whatever it may be. Is get stuff that fits.
Mm. So you mentioned a couple of minutes ago about that you lost a bunch of weight. You said you lost a bunch of weight last year?
Yeah, between last year and this year. So
how much have you lost?
Let's see, close to like 40.
Really?
Yeah.
So what did you do? What did you change to do that?
Eating better, drugs.
Okay.
I mean, the works. Not really working out, but just making better choices. And drugs help. I'll just say that.
Did you prescription or did you buy something off the shelf or?
No, prescription stuff. So the stuff that you hear about on the news, it works.
Okay.
And
really,
it's been game changing. Like
what you did? Is it like
no side effects, stuff like that. Yeah. So it's like, I take a shot once a week, and haven't really talked about this, but yeah, and it works.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, the reason I ask is because that's something I need to do. I would
explore it. It is rather expensive, especially without insurance and stuff like that. Or if it's covered, I think that's probably the biggest thing to say. So depending on what your insurance is, but I would definitely consider it. I know people who have had good experience with it. I know people who've had bad experience with it. I tried it out. I've had a great experience with it, like zero side effects whatsoever. And, it works. It is a shortcut, but at some point you'll reach a plateau. And so you can't just keep eating like you're eating. So you do have to make diet changes as well.
Sure. So did you make your diet change right away, or did you kind of, let's see what the medicine does? And then
I kind of did it both at the same time. And it takes a couple months to kind of really notice anything. But it's, if you think about it, it's kind of like, it's like, a pound or two a week as you start to see it.
What did you cut out?
Mostly portion size.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, you put food in front of me and I would just eat it until it was gone. Didn't matter if I was still hungry or not. It was till it was gone. I hate wasting food.
That's
so now it's much smaller portions. And I feel fuller, with it too. I mean, part of it is just, it's also psychological. I still get the curbs, or not the curbs, the snacks and stuff like that, where it's like, oh man, I really want like a cookie, right? Or
sure,
I want all the ice cream sundaes in the world, right? Things like that.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, the biggest thing is portion control. It doesn't matter what diet you're on; it is all about the number of calories. And so if you're taking in more calories than you're spending in a day, you're going to get fatter. So you need to find that balance, and finding the right food that fills you up is a big part of it. Part of it is just recognizing, it's going to be tough, and, hunger and stuff like that. And if you're working out at the same time, I mean, you're going to go like way better. I didn't really work out. I still don't really work out ever, but just changing the diet alone was a big thing. And I see the difference in pictures too. It's a big difference in pictures.
Okay. Cause so about I don't know how long ago it was, like 4 or 5 years ago, I had this, my blood sugar went through the roof. Right. And I didn't know it. I did not know it. All of a sudden I spent like the equivalent of a weekend just on my couch. I slept almost the entire weekend. I couldn't move. I was just totally out of it. And I thought, okay, maybe I'm just sick. Maybe I have the flu, whatever. So there was a Monday where I went to like the quick care, like at Walgreens or whatever, and explained to them what was going on. And I was, still kind of, but I was able to drive a car, blah, blah, blah. So they're like, they ran some, they took the vitals and all that stuff. They're like, yeah, whatever you have is beyond us. So why don't you go to like the quick care of your doctor? So I did that. They ran some tests and took my vitals and all that stuff. All of a sudden they did a blood sugar test on me, and my blood sugar was like 350. Like it was like insanely high. And they were like, you need to go to the hospital like right now. And I'm like, and I was, I'm just sitting in the chair. I'm like, wait, what? And I was a little tired, but nothing crazy. Like, you need to go to the hospital now. Like
350 is like ridiculously high. Like 315 is like danger. 215 is high.
Yeah. So they were like, we're calling an ambulance now. And I'm like, well, hold up. I said, I can drive there. They're like, no, you really shouldn't. And I'm like, well, I
drove here.
My kids. I'm like, I drove here. I have a car here. And they're like, well, can you get home? I said, yes, I can get home. They're like, will you go to the hospital when you get home? I said, yeah, my kids will, be home from school in like 10 minutes. They'll take me down there. They're like, okay, you have to go.
So was this because you didn't want to go to the hospital? Was it because you didn't want to go in an ambulance, or is it because the cost of an ambulance?
It was probably the cost of the ambulance because I'm a cheap ass.
Well, no, so, I mean, it's expensive as shit. Like
it is
American healthcare system. This is where we're at. You're making literally a life and death decision because of the cost of an ambulance.
I know. It's kind of sad, isn't it? Yeah. But anyway, so I went to the hospital. The boys took me, and I wound up staying in the hospital. I think it was for 3 days, and that's when I was diagnosed as a type 2 diabetic, and I've been type 2 ever since. And I mean, type 2 is the one that you manage, and you can actually manage your way out of it and stuff. So I lost, like, after that, and I was, with checkups and things like that, I lost like 50 pounds pretty quickly, like within probably about 3 months.
Wow. That's a lot. That's fast too.
It was fast. But the problem is, and it's all, like you said, it's all, upstairs. I thought, hey, I feel good. I could start to bring things back. The one thing I haven't ever brought back was regular soda pop. Can't do it. Not going to do it.
That's a big cutout. I do Coke Zero now. And that's a big chunk of calories that I've cut out right there.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, like every once in a while, like if you're out to eat and somebody's got a regular and you got a diet and you like pick the wrong one, I put a regular soda in me, like just a drink of it. And I'm just like, ugh, like it's like, I feel like you're like drinking motor oil. It's thick. It's just, there's too much. So I'm like, yeah, I can't handle this. So I have Diet Coke or a Diet Mountain Dew on occasion, whatever.
I can't stand Diet Coke. It tastes so awful.
It does.
Coke Zero is so much better.
I like, was it Pepsi Zero? That was
Pepsi Max or whatever. Yeah. Same thing.
Yeah.
Cola Zero is where I'm at now. And I should have stock in that because I drink so much of it.
Yeah. But
what's actually good is Fanta Orange Zero.
Okay.
So if you like orange soda, the 0 calorie stuff is a staple. Definitely worth it.
Fanta Orange Zero. I'm a big fan of Gatorade Zero. Mm-hmm. Those are good. Diet Dr.
It has
Pepper
electrolytes.
Pretty solid. Yes. Right. But my point is, I feel like I've slowly gained all that weight back, over the course of time. And I'm like, losing weight. I mean, I'm 50, I'm about to be 52. And the older you get, it's more difficult to lose. Right. Mm-hmm. So I worked out for a while, didn't see the results that I wanted. And then I freaking had the blood clot in the back of my knee. So I had to stop and then had a hard time getting back into it. And it's like, I got to figure something out, man. And my problem is I love to eat. I love it. I love everything about it. I mean, I can eat.
Yeah.
I can eat back in a day. I can still do it. And it's hard for me to sometimes feel full. So the portion size thing, I got to wrap myself around that because I need to get better.
It's math. I bet if you started to sit down and track how many calories you're eating per day and kind of what your goal should be, you'd be shocked at how much is out there. Because I think everybody goes through like they don't consider like everything that they're consuming throughout the day.
Right.
But that's the big thing is it's math. You just have to make sure that you are burning more calories than you're taking in on average,
right.
On a daily basis. And that's how you lose weight. Now, it doesn't mean anything about muscle tone or anything like that. It's purely just a weight thing. So if you do start working out, right, it does a couple of things. You'll burn fat faster, but you will also start to build muscle faster, which tends to weigh a little bit less than fat, but you're also going to be in a better shape, right, too. So
yeah. I mean, I've always been, a bigger guy. I've got broad shoulders and all that stuff. And I think,
you're a lumberjack for cheese. Can't be up there as a skinny guy chopping down trees.
Hell no. Gotta look the part, man.
Well, I'm surprised if you were a type 2, if they didn't prescribe you stuff like that already. Like,
I was on, I did full insulin shots for like 2 weeks.
Okay.
And then I was able to wean my way off of that. And they were fine with that. I was on, what is the big type 2 diabetes medicine that,
Ozempic, I thought, isn't it?
No, it's, Metformin. is what it's called. And that's the one that is the big debate, like, oh, it's good for you or it's not good for you. I was able to wean my way off of that. Like, I got to the point where they said, hey, if you just manage your diet, you're fine. You'll be fine. We don't need you to put you on any medication or anything. And in general, I feel fine. I don't, whatever. I mean, I get tired pretty easily because, I am a bigger guy and all that. But as far as blood sugar goes, anytime I test my blood sugar, it's right where it's supposed to be.
Okay.
Or if it's a little on the high side, I know why. I know what I did, So I don't, have any of those episodes anymore, which is good.
That's good.
But yeah. But yeah, no, I need to drop a few, man, and I need some help with it. So
hey, there's no shame in using science to its maximum advantage. So
well, maybe I'll plug it into ChatGPT and it'll
ChatGPT it'll tell you it's not a doctor, but yeah, go and ask if it's right for you.
What ChatGPT will probably tell me is, if I plug in, how do I lose weight quickly? And it'll probably say, stop eating, fat ass, is probably what they'll say. But,
yeah. Well, that's true. Part of it is genetics, part of it is diet and, other good stuff. But yeah, man, there is tools out there and, some of it is medical, drugs. Some of it is just changing behaviors and habits, which is really hard. I get it because I eat a lot too and I want to eat a lot, but
sure.
And we're conditioned to, right, as a society too. It's like, okay, let's go somewhere, get something to eat. Let's go meet for dinner. Let's, meet for Thanksgiving and Christmas and food and everything's all right.
Because it's easy. Because it's easy.
Hell, you work in the food service business. So you're surrounded by it all the time, right?
Oh my God. I could only imagine if I still worked in a working restaurant. I don't even want to know where I'd be right now, but yeah,
I don't think you'd be much different because you would actually be moving around a lot, but you'd be sweating in a hot kitchen. So,
yeah, that's true. That's true.
When we were younger, we're burning calories, all the time, basically.
I would be way more steps than I am now. Let's put it that way. So.
Yeah. Get a watch or get a ring or something and track your metrics. You asked me why I wear the ring. That's another reason, right? It's like, hey, I'm tracking what's going on and making adjustments when I need to.
So is Ozempic what you're on?
Wegovy is stuff that I've been doing, but it's like
Wegovy. Okay,
it's like the weight version of Ozempic. But
yeah, I've heard that.
Hey, if Wegovy wants to sponsor the podcast, I'd be happy to
hey, there you go.
Right, yeah. It's not cheap, I guess depending on insurance stuff, but I pay a couple $100 a shot, basically, and it's like once a week, and it takes time. I bet it's been. Let's see, been close to a year, I think, since I started.
Okay.
And I've kind of hit a plateau a little bit, but I'm maintaining. And my next step is like actually eating better and then, changing, fried foods and stuff like that out. And actually
now, is that something, is that something that you have to take probably, like if you ever went off of it, what would happen to you?
I think the studies have shown that people tend to gain it back. And so, unless you change your lifestyle, it is not a miracle drug. And if you stop taking it, it basically curbs your appetite is how it works. And so as to say, you start eating smaller portions because you feel full sooner.
Sure.
And it works.
Does your insurance cover any of it? Does your insurance cover any of it?
Yes.
Nice.
I had to go back and forth a little bit about it. And there's like insurance, like, will make you jump through hoops and go through programs and stuff like that, but eventually got it all sorted out. So
did they cover all of it or just
no? As I said, I still pay out of pocket a couple $100 a shot, and you take a shot a week.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. So it's not cheap.
Interesting.
Yeah. But I would encourage anybody who's, go ask. That's all, the least you can do is ask, hey, is this right? Makes sense. And then financially, is it something you can swing? Some insurance cover it, some don't. It kind of depends on the reason you're taking it. It's kind of in vogue right now. A lot of people are taking it, so the demand on it is really high.
Sure.
But take advantage of science.
Well, yeah, right. I mean, obviously. I mean, I've seen the commercials for, Wegovy or Ozempic.
And there's a few that are out there, like Mounjaro's another one. And there's a bunch of options. And they're making a pill version. So, eventually it'll be generic. And so that'll be a lot cheaper, over time and stuff like that. But, I think it's worth exploring. But that's just me.
Yeah.
And I know maybe there's a stigma around it. I was like, no, like you take Avo and you have a headache, right? So there's no difference.
No, it's a good point. Point is I gotta do something.
Yeah. At some point you just kind of get sick of it. It's like, okay, I got to do something. And that's one of several things you can do. And then, you start building habits and say, all right, let me do this one thing. And then, maybe that's the thing that gives you, the get over the hump of, okay, let me do this other thing now and combine that, and then you start, being healthy. And next thing you know, Jason, the Jack Lumberman is, hauling trees off 2x2 over his shoulders like Paul Bunyan.
Yeah. Well, I did. Yeah, dude, that.
I mean, I'm sure you burned a ton of calories doing that stuff.
I probably did. Let's see here. How many steps did I take today? I'm sure I took a ton. Did I close all the rings?
Close the rings. There you go. See, got the.
I did a lot today.
Yeah.
It says so my daily goal, it says 630 calories. I did 1,139. That's almost twice the goal.
Good. So just do that every day.
Yeah.
And then what did you eat?
What did I eat today? Oh, well, I had 2 hot dogs from the gas station. So.
Okay. So there you go. That's probably, and you probably put stuff on it. So that's probably 600 calories?
Mustard relish.
700 at least. Yeah. Somewhere in that area. Soda, side of chips.
No, I didn't have any of that. I had water. I had water today.
Okay. Good boy.
But I did. It also says I exercised for 118 minutes.
Well, so yeah, you're up in a tree and you're sweating and you're outside and you're doing a bunch of stuff. So
yeah, you
gotta be careful with the cardio at that point. Like you get big and it's like, your cardio.
Well, that's the thing. You start to feel short of breath, right?
Yep.
And you're just like, okay, I got to get out of this heat,
Yep.
and that's why probably about once an hour I came inside for every 15 minutes.
And it's smart. Like, you gotta be smart about it. Like that's the big thing.
I've learned, listen to your body.
Yep.
when it's telling you something, it's not lying.
Yeah. I mean, it's people ignore it. And then next thing you know, bad things are happening. So
yeah, not good. So
yeah.
All right. That's our health segment.
Not a doctor, but encourage people out there to explore the different options out there. There's a ton of resources. It's like YouTube. Like you have no excuse not to look at some of the stuff.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. All right. So last couple of weeks, we've discussed artificial intelligence at length.
Yeah. And I had this crazy idea.
What do you got? What do you got for me?
So literally an hour before we hit record. So it's Sunday night. It's 10:30 p.m. right now for me, at least on the East Coast. So it would have been 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. And I was like,
okay,
I wonder how I could evaluate trades in sports. And if I can use Gemini and, AI, and you could do this probably with anything, right? But I'm just using Gemini. And so I came up with this prompt to build what I call the sports trade evaluator. And the idea here is I want to be able to, my thought was, can I just put in 2 players and tell me whether that's a good trade or not and give you pros and cons and stuff like that, right?
Okay, so what does it base it on? What does it base it on real quick?
So let me pull this up here and show you, or I'll read off my prompt. And this might sound a little bit complicated, but bear with me. So you will follow this internal process to generate a comprehensive trade evaluation, automatically determining if the trade is within the same sport or a hypothetical cross-sport deal. So I also wanted to be able to say, well, what if I traded Michael Jordan for Walter Payton, right? Or something ridiculous, kind of like that. So my evaluation objective, analyze a trade, real or hypothetical, between 2 players provided by the user. I will first identify the players, their teams, and their leagues as of the current date. I will then automatically select the correct analysis path. Path number 1, if it's an intra-sport trade, so baseball to baseball, basketball to basketball, right? You're not crossing leagues, essentially.
Okay.
So trigger, if both players are in the same professional league, and then you do a practical evaluation of a 1-for-1 trade. So I didn't build in logic for like draft picks or multiplayer trades, right? Or anything like that. The focus is on roster fit, financials, team strategy, and on the field, on court impact type things. Path 2 is if you're going across sports. So a hypothetical, right, is baseball for football, right, or something like that. And so if the trigger for that is if they're in different professional leagues. What I haven't tested if it's like, well, what if it's college to NBA? I think technically that would be 2 separate leagues, but I haven't tested that part out yet. And then, so if it is, the focus then becomes a normalized value across different sporting ecosystems using the 5 pillars of abstract valuation. The final output will always be presented with a pros and cons list for each team, followed by a conclusive verdict. And that should be the way that at least it works. Now, this is very rough from like a prompt perspective, and I have to do more work on it. But if I wanted to do something like, let's say Michael Jordan for Kobe Bryant. So what would happen if Jordan was traded for Kobe Bryant? So I typed it in, and it gave me a very long analysis of it.
I can imagine.
Yeah. So let me kind of skim through here. So, and what it did was it took basically the Jordan at his peak, as if Jordan was going to be traded in like the 97-98 season is kind of what they picked as like his peak season or peak career.
Isn't that the year? Is that the year they won 70 games? Is that right?
I don't remember, but it sounds right. And that's when Kobe Bryant was just into the league. I think he was still coming off the bench at that point.
Yes.
And he had that. So 97-98 was the end of their second three-peat.
Yes. Okay.
And so, let's see. So analysis from the Chicago Bulls perspective. The 97-98 Chicago Bulls were a well-oiled machine meticulously built around the singular talent of Michael Jordan. The roster featured all-star forward Scottie Pippen, rebounding specialist Dennis Rodman, and a cadre of reliable role players, including Tony Kukoc, Tron Harper, Steve Kerr, all thriving under the tutelage of legendary coach Phil Jackson. So here's the pros of acquiring Kobe Bryant. A bridge to the future. The primary benefit for the Bulls would have been the acquisition of a potential successor to Jordan. With Jordan's retirement looming, Bryant's arrival would have provided the franchise with a young, hyper-talented cornerstone to build around for the next decade and beyond, potentially avoiding the painful rebuild that followed the dynasty's end. Athleticism and scoring punch. Bryant, even at 19, was an explosive athlete with a developing offensive arsenal. He would have injected a new level of athleticism to the Bulls' backcourt and provided a secondary scoring option alongside Scottie Pippen, who would have likely assumed a primary leadership role. How long that would have lasted, I don't know, because Bryant definitely would have taken over that team like he did anything else. Defensive potential. Bryant's length, quickness, and competitive fire made him a disruptive defender. Paired with Pippen, the Bulls would have boasted one of the most formidable defensive wing duos in the league. Kind of hard to argue, Pippen being so good at defense. Cons of trading Michael Jordan. Immediate championship forfeiture. Trading Jordan in the midst of a championship run would have been tantamount to surrendering the 98 NBA title.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Chemistry disruption. The Bulls' chemistry was finally tuned around Jordan's presence. Removing him from the equation would have drastically altered the team's dynamic and the roles of every other player. And uncertain development. While Bryant's potential was immense, there was no guarantee he would develop into the 5-time champion he eventually became. So the Bulls would have been trading, a proven champion for a high risk, high reward prospect.
Right.
So that's the Bulls' perspective. Now, from the Lakers' perspective, the 97-98 Lakers were a team on the rise, led by the dominant inside presence of Shaq. Also featured Eddie Jones, Nick Van Exel, and a promising young six-man and Kobe Bryant. So the pros of acquiring Jordan, championship guarantee. The pairing of Jordan and Shaq would have created arguably the most dominant duo in NBA history.
Yeah, I could agree with that. I get on board with that.
Veteran leadership. Jordan's championship experience and demanding leadership would have been invaluable for the talented but relatively young Lakers team. He would have instilled a winning culture and held every player, including O'Neal, to the highest standard. And then mentorship, which I'm not quite sure I feel about this one because I don't really know if Jordan was a mentor to younger players.
No, he was at least from what I saw in Last Dance, he was a get on board or get off the train.
Right. So I don't know if I agree with this, this AI analysis of him being a mentor in the locker room. Maybe it might have been just, having him there and seeing how he approached the game. But a true mentor, I doubt it. Cons of trading Kobe Bryant: sacrificing the future. So in trading Bryant, the Lakers would have been mortgaging their future for immediate success. Ego management. While the on-court fit was tantalizing, managing the colossal egos of Jordan and Shaq would have been a significant challenge for Coach Del Harris and the Lakers front office. So remember, they don't have Phil Jackson on their side, and Phil was a master at getting, egos in the same room to work together.
Right.
And then a limited championship window at 34, Jordan's window as the league's best player was narrowing. So while the immediate returns would have been immense, the long-term championship potential of a Bryant O'Neal duo would have been sacrificed, which turned out to be right. So those are kind of the pros and cons of it. And then, the verdict, there's a bunch of stuff in here, but basically, ultimately, the Lakers would have won this trade in the immediate aftermath, likely securing multiple championships in the late 90s and early 2000s. The sheer force of a Jordan O'Neal partnership would have been too much for the rest of the league to handle. However, the Bulls, by acquiring young Kobe Bryant, would have laid the foundation for a potential dynasty of their own in the 2000s and beyond, although without the certainty of their 90s dominance. So, interesting. That's what Jordan for Kobe might have been.
Okay, I gotta tell you, I love this. I love.
So
this
So I was just say, give me a trade that you want to evaluate.
Okay,
and we'll test this AI out in real time, and I may need to make tweaks to it.
Okay, so let me ask you this: do both parties have to be in the league at the same time?
No, because I think Jordan and Bryant was an example of them kind of overlapping, but they were not always in the league at the same time.
Okay, why don't you plug in this? Why don't you plug in what trading Wilt Chamberlain for Nikola Jokic?
Okay.
Because Chamberlain obviously was the dominant center back then, and Jokic is the dominant center right now.
Okay, I gotta make sure I spell Nikola Jokic's name correctly.
I think it's Jokic.
Yeah, the Joker.
If I'm not mistaken. Right.
Okay. So Wilt Chamberlain for Nikola Jokic. Just a sec. We're thinking. Play the Jeopardy theme music here while it's, spitting out its analysis. Yeah, right. In real time, we're going to find out if this AI is all it's cracked up to be, or if I need to tweak the prompt to take into, account of things. All right. So start putting together stuff. Okay. A hypothetical swap of Chamberlain and Jokic. Let's see.
Now, I don't know which team they're drawing Wilt Chamberlain from. He played for the Lakers. He played for the Sixers. I don't know.
So the modern day Denver Nuggets in this scenario would trade their cornerstone, Nikola Jokic, for a prime Wilt Chamberlain. So pros, the team acquiring Wilt Chamberlain. So whoever that is.
That'd be Denver.
So Denver's going to get Wilt Chamberlain, and they're going to get unprecedented scoring and rebound. Chamberlain's statistical output is the stuff of legend. In an area of faster pace and a greater number of possessions, his scoring and rebounding numbers would be astronomical. His sheer physical dominance in the paint would be unparalleled in today's league, offering an unstoppable interior presence. Defensive anchor, a two-time all-defensive first-team selection later in his career, Chamberlain's shot blocking and rebounding would instantly transform the Nuggets into an elite defensive unit. His ability to protect the rim would erase many of the defensive liabilities of the current roster. Durability and athleticism. Chamberlains were known for his incredible stamina, famously averaging over 48 minutes per game in a season. His athleticism for a side would be a spectacle in the modern game, allowing him to run the floor and finish with authority in transition. Cons. Okay, go ahead. You're going to say something.
I was going to say Chamberlain is, if I'm mistaken, once averaged over 50 points a game over the course of a season. Yeah. And I think he may have averaged over 30 rebounds for a season. So
his numbers are ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although,
so, okay.
When I picture him, though, I think of him as more like a stick figure, like not built. Like I'm sure he was strong, but he was not like Shaq, strong.
Well, and he probably just kind of stood in the middle and just dunked over everybody, and he's probably the biggest guy in the league at the time.
Right. And I don't know if that would necessarily translate to this league now, because look at some of the players that are running around at 7 feet playing point guard, like the kid in San Antonio, right? Okay, cons. So if you get Wilt Chamberlain, you're getting a con of offensive flow and fit. Chamberlain's offensive game, while dominant, was primarily centered around post scoring. This would present a seismic shift from the Nuggets' current Jokic-centric ball movement heavy offense. The team would need to completely retool its offense philosophy. Free throw shooting, a notoriously poor free throw shooter, 51.1% for his career.
Oh, wow.
Chamberlain would be a significant liability in late game situations. So hack a Chamberlain, the same as hack a Shaq.
Hack a Wilt.
Yeah, right. Hack a Wilt is literally there. The hack a Wilt strategy would undoubtedly be employed by opponents, potentially costing the team crucial points. Adaptability to the modern game. This is where I would have the biggest concern. While physically dominant, questions would remain about Chamberlain's ability to adapt to the complexities of modern NBA defenses, which often involve sophisticated double teaming schemes and a greater emphasis on perimeter play from big men. His passing, while underrated, is not on the same level as Jokic's, which would impact the playmaking of the entire team. So those are the pros and cons of getting Wilt Chamberlain onto the modern day Denver Nuggets.
Denver would have to change everything they do in this deal. Because, I mean, most of the time, Jokic is like the point center. He's the guy who brings the ball up. Wow.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I say, because now I've got the point of view from Nikola Jokic. So,
okay, go ahead.
A team from the 60s or early 70s, such as the Philadelphia Warriors or Los Angeles Lakers, would receive a prime Nikola Jokic in exchange for Chamberlain. Offensive revolution is a pro. Jokic's arrival in 1960 would be nothing short of revolutionary. His ability to handle the ball, shoot from the perimeter, a non-existent skill for centers of that era, and facilitate the offense from the high post would be an unsolvable puzzle for opposing defenses. He would essentially be a point guard in a center's body, creating unprecedented mismatches. Elevating teammates. Jokic's greatest strength is his ability to make his teammates better. In an area with less complex defensive schemes, his court vision and passing acumen would lead to a significant increase in offensive efficiency for the entire team. Players would be treated to open looks they had never experienced before. And then the last pro is versatility and efficiency. Jokic's well-rounded offensive game would provide a level of efficiency rarely seen in that era. His ability to score from all three levels would stretch the floor and open up the paint for others. His high basketball IQ would be a significant asset in a league that was still developing its strategic complexities. So sounds like he'd be the second coming for that. And so let me get to the cons here. Physicality and interior defense. While a capable defender, Jokic is not the dominant physical presence that Chamberlain was. He would likely struggle to single-handedly contain the more physically imposing centers of that era, such as Bill Russell and Nate Thurmond in the paint. His rebounding walks in the modern era would be tested against the relentless board crashers of the 1960s. The pace of the game. The pace of play was significantly faster in Chamberlain's era. While Jokic is skilled in transition, his end-to-end speed is not his primary attribute. It would be significant adjustment for him to consistently play at that tempo for extended periods. And then the last con here, historical context and expectations. In an era where the center was primarily expected to be a dominant scorer and rebounder in the paint, Jokic's unique perimeter-oriented and pass-first style might be initially misunderstood or underutilized by coaches and teammates accustomed to a more traditional approach.
So I'm trying to decide who wins that trade.
Yeah, and I'm reading here to see if there's an actual verdict on it.
My opinion is, I think, what is it? Whether it's the Lakers or the Sixers or would you say the Warriors? Is that?
Yeah, it was the Philadelphia Warriors.
That's it. Yeah. I think the addition of Jokic wins that trade.
So that's what AI says. So ultimately, while Chamberlain's individual dominance is undeniable, the team acquiring Nikola Jokic in the 1960s or 70s would receive the better end of this deal. His unique and transcendent skill set would have a more profound and sustainable impact on team success in that era, fundamentally changing the way the game was played and likely leading to multiple championships. Chamberlain in the modern era would be a spectacle, but Jokic in the past would be a revolution.
Yeah, I agree. Dude, I'm telling you, I love this. I love everything about it.
See?
Especially
AI for the win.
Especially with, this week's baseball trade deadline coming up. I mean, they throw a deal on MLB Network, something like that. You plug it in right now, and it'll tell you who they think won the trade.
Let's do one more. Who's a trade up right now for the MLB? And you can tell me it's right because I don't know shit about MLB.
No, somebody just got traded mid-game. Actually, I gotta find out what.
That sounds like a episode of Bull Durham or something. Major League.
Yeah, seriously, they took him out of the game in the middle of the deal. Let's see, it was okay from the Diamondbacks. Look up the name Randall Grichuk, and I think it's spelled Grichuk.
Randall Grichuk.
So he was traded from the Diamondbacks to the Royals.
Okay.
And I'm trying to see what they got back for him. Oh, okay. They got back. Oh, holy cow. I know this kid, believe it or not. They got back from the Royals to the Diamondbacks right-handed pitcher Andrew Hoffman, who ironically is from Plainfield, Illinois, went to Plainfield East, and I think Justin got a hit off him in high school.
All right.
so pretty cool. But anyway,
that's cool.
Yeah. So Grichuk to the Royals for Andrew Hoffman going to the Diamondbacks. Both of them are current major league players. Hoffman is spelled with 2 F's and 2 N's.
Yeah, I'm just going to put the teams in here just in case. So Randall Grichuk to Royals for Andrew Hoffman to the Diamondbacks.
Correct.
Let's see what sports traded value. I got to come up with a better name for this thing. I'll have to name the gem and see what the traded value should have a name for. Any ideas?
Let me think on that. I think you got something here. I think people would love this, to be totally honest with you.
They reach out, I can make it public, I think, and then, or at least send me stuff and we can talk about it in the show, I guess. Okay. So
monetize. We got to monetize it somehow.
Yeah. Help me pay for the $20 a month I spend on Gemini.
There you go.
Let's see. So this trade confirmed on Saturday sends a 33-year-old Grichuk to Royals team and in the thick of the American League wildcard race, while the Diamondbacks add a promising young arm to their system as they appear to be shifting focus towards the future. Let's see, trade analysis. So, Kansas City Royals.
Okay.
Immediate offensive upgrade. Grichuk provides a significant power boost to an outfield that has struggled offensively for much of the season. His presence in the lineup should create more scoring opportunities. Veteran presence. With extensive postseason experience, Grichuk brings a seasoned perspective to a relatively young Royals clubhouse as they navigate a high-pressure playoff chase. Minimal prospect cost. While Hoffman is a promising arm, the Royals did not have to part with any of their top-tier prospects to acquire a proven major league outfielder. The cons for the Royals is a rental player. Grichuk is in the final year of his contract, meaning he could depart free agency at the end of the season, making the short-term solution. Defensive metrics. While possessing a strong arm, Grichuk's defensive metrics in recent seasons have been inconsistent. And strikeout rate. Grichuk has a career tendency to strike out at a higher than average rate, which could be a point of frustration if he goes through prolonged slumps. How accurate is that, do you think, for Grichuk being traded to the Royals?
That's pretty spot on. He's kind of a journeyman. He's been around. He's played on a handful of teams throughout the years. I wouldn't say he's great, but he's better than average. Okay. Yeah. I think he'll help them.
Okay. Well, here's the Arizona Diamondbacks pros. So they're getting Hoffman, right? Acquisition of a pitching prospect. The Diamondbacks add Andrew Hoffman, a right-hander with major league experience who has shown promise in the minor leagues, addressing a long-term organizational need for pitching depth. Future focus. The trade aligns with a strategy of building for the future by trading an impending free agent for a controllable young player, and financial flexibility. Shedding the remainder of Grichuk's salary provides the Diamondbacks with additional financial flexibility. So those are 3 pros: is basically acquisition of pitching prospect, the shift to the future and getting rid of a journeyman, and then the financial ramifications of both of those things. The cons, immediate roster weakening. In the short term, the Diamondbacks lose a veteran outfielder who is a regular contributor to their lineup, potentially impacting their competitiveness for the remainder of the season. Prospect uncertainty. As with any prospect, Hoffman's future success in the major leagues is not guaranteed. He has had limited exposure at the highest level and will need to continue his development. And then fan perception. Trading away a recognizable veteran during a season where the team is not far out of contention could be met with disappointment from a segment of the fan base.
Interesting. So this trade actually happened. I think it was yesterday. Mm-hmm. I just read this. So here's the tweet that DraftKings put out when the trade happened. It says, Randall Grichuk really got traded from a 51-53 team with 4 teams ahead of them in the wild card race to a 51-53 team with 4 teams ahead of them in the wild card race. So one went from the National League to the American League and vice versa in the exact same scenario, which is pretty crazy. So,
and they both have the same number of wins too.
Both teams are 51-53.
Interesting. So the verdict, according to Sports Trade Machine here on the FOJ show.
Okay, I'm going to say, let's see, Grichuk went to the Royals. I'm going to say the Royals win that deal.
Okay. So Sports Trade Machine says ultimately this trade is a win-win, with the Royals getting a tangible asset for their current playoff push and the Diamondbacks securing a piece for their future.
I like that. Ultimately, that's what you want when you're trading guys. You want both. Like, I don't think GMs are out there to fleece other teams and stuff. Ultimately, every trade.
Bullshit. I would totally be out there trying to win.
Yeah, right. Well, I think
I'll trade you this bucket of balls for your starting lineup.
I hear you, but the problem with that becomes, okay, if you do fleece me once, I'm never trading with you again, regardless of what you need.
I ran into this a lot in fantasy football. Nobody would trade me.
Yeah, there you go.
But you know what? I relied on my GM skills to still put together championship teams. So, middle fingers for everybody. How about that?
That's fair. Hey, we're all number one. I know. So, yeah, I think ultimately you would like a win-win. Okay. Do we have time for one more?
Let's do
it. Here's a question for you. Mm-hmm. Can you put in multiple players on one side?
I have not tried it, so let's try it and see if it craps the bed. If it does, then I'll have to retool the logic a little bit, but let's give it a shot.
Okay, here's a deal that might happen here in Chicago this week, and I think a lot of Cub fans would like this to happen, but there's one guy they're afraid to get rid of. Mm-hmm. So I need 2 players from the Diamondbacks going to the Cubs, and I need probably 3 players going from the Cubs back to the Diamondbacks. Can you do that?
I don't know.
Okay.
Give me the names and we'll see.
From the Diamondbacks to the Cubs, I need pitcher Merrill Kelly.
I got to get the right spellings for these players. So hang on one second. Make sure I get the right players. Merrill Kelly.
I think it's 2 R's, 1 L. I could be wrong on that.
You are correct.
Okay. And then Eugenio Suarez. So
come on, man.
No, I'm going to spell it for you. I know it.
Right.
It's EUGENIO.
I see it here. I put in EU and Google automatically picked up the rest of that, which is crazy. Okay.
See, they know.
Eugenio Suarez, Merrill Kelly, and then who else?
Okay, so that's from the Diamondbacks to the Cubs. Cubs are going to trade Owen Casey, who's a minor league prospect. Last name is spelled Cassie.
Hold on a second. I got to type here. To the Cubs. Owen Casey, you said?
Yes.
Cassie.
Cassie. I believe is his last name.
Okay.
Pitcher Ben Brown.
Okay.
And then I'm not sure what his primary position is, but his name is Moises, Moises. Mm-hmm. Then it's Ballesteros, BA.
I see it.
Yeah. Those 3 for those 2.
Okay. Moises Ballesteros.
Yes.
Okay. Let me entertain our listeners here for a second while I tweak this a little bit.
Okay. Reason I bring this up is because the Cubs the fan base believes that they are perhaps a proven third baseman, and Suarez has hit 31, 32 home runs and has driven in like 80 runs so far, and an established starting pitcher, which Merrill Kelly is, away from a potential World Series run. Now, Owen Casey is probably the top prospect that the Cubs have. Ben Brown is one of their top pitching prospects. He did pitch today against the Sox and pitched very well. And then Ballesteros is probably, I don't know, maybe like number 4, number 5 prospect in the Cubs system. So he's pretty good, but you got to give up to get something. So basically the Cubs would be giving away a lot of their future to potentially win it all this year.
Okay.
So that's where this trade comes from.
All right. Well, it's crunched the numbers and it looks like it's worked it out. So Diamondbacks and Cubs doing a five-player deal in Blockbuster trade. Okay. So Arizona, first of all, let's start with the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Okay.
Betting on the future. So for the Diamondbacks, this trade is a calculated gamble, parting with 2 established major league contributors for a haul of promising young talent. The success of this deal for Arizona will be measured in the long-term development of their newly acquired prospects. So the pros: franchise-altering prospect haul. The Diamondbacks have acquired 3 of the Cubs' top prospects, significantly bolstering their farm system. Owen, is it Casey?
Yes.
Casey is a power-hitting outfielder with immense offensive potential. Ben Brown is a hard-throwing right-hander who has already seen time in the majors and possesses a high ceiling. Moises Ballesteros is a bat-first catching prospect who has consistently hit at every level of the minors.
Okay.
Financial flexibility. Offloading the remaining salaries of Kelly and Suarez provides the Diamondbacks with greater financial freedom in the upcoming offseason and beyond. This can be reallocated to other areas of need or to extend their own rising stars. And then a clear organizational direction. This move unequivocally signals a commitment to a youth movement and a long-term competitive window. By acquiring controllable, high-upside talent, the Diamondbacks are laying the groundwork for sustained success. So those are the pros.
So this fits the strategy that they just put forth with acquiring Andrew Hoffman.
Of going young.
Going for the future. Okay.
Yep. Here are the cons. Immediate competitive hit, trading away reliable starting pitcher Merrill Kelly and power hitting third baseman. And Eugenio Suarez will undoubtedly weaken the major league roster in the short term. This could impact their ability to contend for a playoff spot in the current season. Prospect risk. As with any trade involving prospects is a risk, blah, blah, blah. While they're all highly regarded, their success in major league is not guaranteed. And then a veteran leadership void. The departure of Kelly and Suarez removes 2 experienced veterans from the clubhouse, and their leadership will need to be replaced.
Agreed.
So that's the pros and cons for the Diamondbacks.
Okay.
The Chicago Cubs, all in for October, made a bold statement with this acquisition and addressing key areas of need as they gear up for a World Series push. The addition of a seasoned starting pitcher and potent bat significantly strengthens their roster for the stretch run. So the pros: bolstered starting rotation. Merrill Kelly provides an immediate and substantial upgrade to the Cubs starting rotation. A durable and effective right-hander, Kelly brings a veteran presence and a track record of success, which will be crucial in a tight playoff race. Power hitting infield upgrade. Eugenio Suarez addresses the Cubs' need for more power from the corner infield spot. His ability to hit for both average and power adds another dangerous bat to an already formidable lineup. Championship aspirations. This trade sends a clear message to the fan base and the clubhouse that the front office is committed to winning now. The acquisition of 2 proven major leaguers signals a win-now mentality. Cons: depleted farm system. Giving up 3 of their top prospects in one trade significantly diminishes the depth of their minor league system. This could have long-term repercussions if the acquired veterans do not lead to a championship. Financial commitment. The Cubs will absorb the remaining contracts of both Kelly and Suarez, which will impact their payroll and potentially limit their flexibility in future transactions. Age and potential decline. While both Kelly and Suarez are productive players, they are on the older side. There is a risk of age-related decline in their performance or the duration of their contracts. So those are the pros and cons if you're the Cubs.
Okay, I would agree with all that. There's another piece to this, but go ahead.
So the verdict. This is a classic win now versus build for the future trade. Let's see. Let me scroll, read through this. Ultimately, the fairness of this trade will be determined in the years to come. If the Cubs are able to make a deep postseason run and potentially win a championship, the trade will be viewed as a resounding success. For the Diamondbacks, the development of Casey Brown and Ballesteros and productive major leaguers will be the ultimate measure of their return. At present, this appears to be a well-reasoned trade that aligns with the distinct goals of both franchises. So another too soon. I guess too soon to tell, especially when you're talking prospects. And it's all for naught, I think, if they don't make it at least to the World Series.
I agree. Well, here's the thing. So Owen Casey is their top prospect, right? And he is looked at as the potential replacement for Kyle Tucker if they don't re-sign him. So if they trade him away, and Kyle Tucker is a free agent at the end of the year. So the risk here, and they've talked about it extensively here in Chicago, is if they trade Owen Casey for whoever, whether it's Suarez or whether it's, a starting pitcher from somebody else or whatever, and they don't re-sign Kyle Tucker, now they've lost both of them. They already gave up a decent prospect along with a couple others to get Kyle Tucker for this year. And it was only a 1-year thing because he's a free agent at the end of the year. And I know Tucker doesn't want to leave Chicago, but he may be offered 500 million reasons to leave Chicago. I don't know if the Cubs are going to pony up for that. So trading Owen Casey is a risk. So if you trade Owen Casey for something significant like this, it's a definite all-in move. But man, if it doesn't work and you don't re-sign Kyle Tucker, oh boy.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
I have a hard time trading young talent unless there is a really good guarantee that I'm going to get a championship out of it.
Yeah. And there is no guarantee, right?
There isn't.
Right. What if somebody gets hurt? What if, Dodgers make a move and, they figure their stuff out. It's weird. They're slumping big time right now, yet they're still like 5 games ahead of the Padres in their division. So it's so strange. But anyway, but yeah, this is an all-in win now, win it all move for sure. Suarez in their lineup. So Matt Shaw, he's a rookie. He's hit like 4 homers since the All-Star break. So some people are starting to think maybe they don't need a third baseman. But you add 30 some odd home runs and 80 RBIs to that lineup right now, to a Cub offense that already averages over 5 runs a game. That is nuts. That is like, yeah, we're winning it all. We'll outslug anybody. And if you're able to add a starting pitcher along with that, I think you got to take a hard look at it. Even Owen Casey or not. I just think that it's very tantalizing, but as a Cubs GM, Jed Hoyer and what's his name, Carter Hawkins, their brain trust, they're probably like, shit, what do we do?
This is why they get paid millions and millions of dollars, is to make these decisions.
Absolutely, that's right. No sympathy for millionaires,
right?
That's right. So.
And that's why it's hard to find long-term executives, because you're only as good as your last championship run or development of a team. So when's the last time you had an executive stick around with a team for, let's say, 10 years?
Well, let's see. Theo.
I know there's a few that have been there, but
yeah,
I don't
not
think
many.
It's all that popular. Yeah.
Theo was with them for, I think it was 9.
Mm-hmm.
But Jed Hoyer, he came with Theo. He's been there. Oh God. I don't know. Probably, 13, 14 years now. And I don't see him going anywhere anytime soon. So maybe he's the end all be all for the Cubs.
I just feel like sports executives tend to shuffle around.
They do. Depending on the sport, but yeah,
some stick around forever, but
yeah,
I think they're more the exception. At least that's just my perception of it. I don't know if it's true or not.
Yeah. So, but back to you now, are you developing this as an app, or are you just developing it as a website, or what are you developing this as?
I have it just as a little custom, they call it a gem within Gemini. And so it's just a little thing that I can run. I've built a few of these over time to like help me with different tasks or work or stuff like that. So, I've renamed it the FOJ Sports Machine. So there you go. FOJ Sports Machine is the name of it.
I love it.
Yeah. So like I said, it just came to me in a spurt of like, oh, I wonder if I could do this. And here we are.
This is like the trade version of like Tankathon, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I think you've got something here.
I'm sure I'm not the only person thinking about it. I don't
maybe not, but
yeah.
Are you the only person putting
it?
I was going to say, are you the only person putting it together?
Well, I put this one together, but, and I literally, probably 5 minutes of thinking about the logic of how I perceived it as working. And I actually used AI to help me with the logic too. So there you go. I was like, all right, well, how would I, do this? And so it's just a simple analysis thing. And yeah, FOJ Sports Machine version 1 is, and it handled multiple players. I wasn't sure if it would do that. So that's great.
I love that.
So we should do this. Anytime there's a major trade, we should have the FOJ Sports Machine run it through and we can talk through it.
Well, like I said, baseball's trade deadline is Thursday. So we'll have maybe a few to talk about. That'll be like, wait, who did what?
Yeah. And it makes me sound like I know what I'm talking about because I can just read what AI is telling me about these players.
Exactly.
So it's a win-win for everybody. See, it's a trade. Everyone wins.
I love it, man. Yeah, I think it's awesome.
Yeah. All right. We're hitting almost 2 hours again. I remember when we started this, it was like an hour. And now we're consistently hitting like 2 hours, which that's fine with me. Who cares?
Well, it's enough for stuff.
It's enough for your drive to the office and then, for the drive back and maybe a little bit left over in between.
So I spend a lot of time in the car.
Yeah. You spend too much time in the car.
I do. I know. And I need to get rid of that, but I can usually get through the episode on Monday, just through all my different commutes and all that kind of stuff from going from customer to customer to customer. So it's a great, I enjoy it. I know my coworkers enjoy it. It was so funny because I got texted Tuesday morning, do you have a new episode yet? And I said, we just recorded it, or Wednesday morning. And I'm like, we just recorded it last night. He's like, and this was at like 9:00. And I'm like, he's probably working on it. And sure enough, he goes, well, the people are waiting. And sure enough, it came out like 15 minutes later. I'm like, here you go, bonehead. So it was just funny. Ray, I love you. He calls me. He's like, he calls me about certain segments.
Oh, really?
All right. I loved it when you guys talked about this. I love when you talk about this. Hey, why don't you talk about this? So he's a very avid listener of the show, and I appreciate it. So it's great. Pretty cool.
Ray, thank you. I'm going to make you our listener of the week. Pew, pew, pew. I don't have my sound effects in front of me, but there you go. But yeah, that's cool. Like I said, we would probably do it if no one's listening, but the fact that at least one other person enjoys it is great. And
yeah.
Let's get Ray on the show, bring his topics, bring us your trades now that we got the FOJ Sports Machine, to evaluate the criteria. I feel like I can build some other models here to be like, all right, what else do we want to evaluate? Maybe movies or music or jokes. I don't know. There's a bunch of different options here that I can think of.
And as we're about to sign off here, I'm learning that AI could do just about damn near anything. So it's pretty cool.
I don't have to do anything. I'm just going to sit here. As long as I have internet and air conditioning and power, I can control the world.
Yes. Yeah. I agree.
Okay.
Well, Arctic Air, baby, $40 at Ace Hardware.
I'm going to have to look that up because I do.
One of the best investments I've made in a long time.
Yeah, man. See, it doesn't have to be expensive, right? If it makes your life better, go for it. Do it. Spend the money. Be comfortable.
That's right.
All right. I'm done talking to you. Awesome. I'll catch you later this week.
All right, brother.
All right, man. See ya.
All good. See ya.